So now we will discuss the spin-spin coupling and more about signal splitting and non-equivalent and equivalent protons. So in case of vicinal coupling between heterotropic protons generally follows n+1 rule. The exceptions are when the diastereotropic hydrogen and conformationally restricted systems are there. There are some exceptions to n+1 rule. We will discuss that in later videos. You can see this is the typical NMR spectrum of methoxyacetonitride. Now if you see the signal of this enantiotropic proton, where is that? These two protons are enantiotropic. How we will know that? If you do the experiment that if you replace this proton with any chlorine, bromine or iodine anything, you will get the enantiomer. That means if you change this proton and write down that molecule, and if you change this proton keeping this hydrogen constant, write down that molecule, then those two molecules will be enantiomer of each other. That's why these two are enantiotropic. Now if you see in this spectrum, these enantiomeric protons will not see any splitting. You can see this signal for these two protons, and these three protons have this signal. You can see I have colored this signal. Now if you see, these enantiotropic protons have one signal, and these are called homotopic protons. Why that is called? You can do that same experiment and you can check these are homotopic. So we will get only two signal in NMR spectrum. There won't be any coupling between these two hydrogen. Now we will see that the signal splitting is not observed among the protons that are homotopic, that is chemical shift equivalent or enantiotropic. You can see this molecule. Now if you see in this molecule, that is 11233 pentachloropropane and 1 position, this is 2 position and this is 3 position. So in this there are two homotopic protons. You can see these two are homotopic protons. So if you think like that, this proton will be coupled with this, so this will give a doublet. This proton will be coupled with this, so this will also give a doublet. Then this proton will be coupled with this, and this also this. So nothing like that. Actually we see these two proton coupled with this, and this single proton coupled with these two. So how we are getting the signal is, we get only doublet for these two hydrogen, and that is the blue colored one, and for a triplet for this hydrogen. You can see for a triplet for magenta hydrogen and doublet for these two hydrogen, because these two are enantiotropic. That means this will have only one signal, and that signal will be split due to the neighboring hydrogen, and this also will split due to these two neighboring hydrogen, that is n+1. If you calculate n+1 rule, then there are two protons adjacent to this hydrogen, triplet we will get. Now come to the next molecule, that is 1-nitropropane. So in this 1-nitropropane, you can see there will be three signal. I have mentioned A, B, C. So what will be the splitting pattern? So if you see in this A proton, the neighboring carbon is B proton, and that will be a triplet. So you can see for A there is a triplet. You can see this offset plots, you can also see. So now for this P proton, there will be two neighbors carbons. This will be three hydrogen, and this will be 2 hydrogen. So 5 hydrogen total. So 5 plus 1, 6. So this will give a sextet. You can see the sextet for this B proton, and for this also you can see the neighboring carbon is B proton, and that carbon contains 2 hydrogen. So this will also give a triplet. So you can see the complete spectrum of this 1-nitropropane. Now if you see the chemical shift values, so this will be more de-shielded. That means it will come around de-shielding zone, that is downfield. You can see that in this spectrum also. Now if you see this B proton will come in between these two protons, because this is little far from this nitro group. That means electron density will be little bit more here as compared to this one. So this will be in between these two protons. Now this will be more shielded, that's why it will come around 1. So this much is enough for this molecule. Now we will discuss about coupling constant, that is recognized splitting patterns. So when the protons that are coupled to each other, they share something called coupling constant, which is denoted by J. You can see here. So if these two protons, which I have already mentioned that these two protons are vicinal to each other, 1, 2, 3. So this will be a vicinal coupling. So how do we know that these two protons are coupled with vicinal coupling? That means they will share some coupling constant value that will be same for all the vicinal coupling, that will 6 to 8 Hz. That means if we get any first of all what we will get is, you see this CH3, for this CH3 we will get triplet, this type of triplet, and for this CH2 we get a quadret. Now if you see the quadret, there is some spacing between this peak and this peak. The remaining all the peak also we have some gap. That gap is denoted by J, that is known as coupling constant. And for this vicinal coupling we have a certain value, that is between 6 to 8 Hz. That means if you are getting a coupling constant value 6 to 8 Hz, those protons are coupling like vicinal to each other. From that we can confirm that if you are getting 6 to 8 Hz, so these two protons are coupled by vicinal coupling. Now we will see the dependence of coupling constant on dihedral angle. So the magnitude of coupling constant can be indicative of dihedral angle. You can see between these two hydrogen there is an angle phi, which is known as dihedral angle. You can see here also these two protons, they make an angle like, if you see in this molecule, they make a 60 degree. With these two hydrogen, the dihedral angle is 60 degree. So from this dihedral angle we can know how the coupling constant value is. So the dependence of coupling constant on dihedral angle was first explored by Martin Karplus and has become well known as Karplus correlation. So if you see the dihedral angle, this is the dihedral angle, and in this axis the coupling constant J in Hertz, and this is the dihedral angle. If you see when there is 0 degree, this means this hydrogen is just parallel to this hydrogen, this will at this position. Then what will happen, the coupling constant will be around 8. Now when we increase the dihedral angle from 0 to up to 80, the dihedral angle, you can see the coupling constant value is decreasing like this. The coupling constant decreases up to 85 around. Now when this dihedral angle increase from 85 around, then it start also increasing. It's so increasing and increasing. So when this hydrogen become 180 degree means this hydrogen and this hydrogen, when this phi is 180 degree, then the coupling constant value will be a 10 around. So you can see from the Karplus correlation we can know that what is the dependence of dihedral angle and the coupling constant value.